let's face it, most guys don't know a lot about fashion. And as a wheelchair user, your options are severely limited. So today, I'm here with my friend Danny, who's gonna teach me how to upgrade my style. After I left the hospital, fashion was the last thing on my mind. And I started wearing sweatpants because they were comfortable and practical. And to be honest, even to this day, I still wear them. A few months ago, I was on Instagram and I found Danny, and he was wearing suits and looking fresh, and I thought, I want to learn how to do that. So since I know it's going to be in the comments and everyone's going to be asking, tell us a little bit about your injury, what level you are, all that stuff.
What's up, everyone? My name is Danny, aka DG Style. I was injured 3 years ago mountain biking. I suffered a T11, T12 spinal cord injury, paralyzed from the waist down for some people who don't know. I got into fashion about a year and a half after my injury because I spent that year and a half depressed. I didn't want to leave my house. I had other things going on with my body that I was still figuring out. So when I finally decided to make that change and to get out into the world, that's when the fashion kicked in, because none of the stuff that I wore fit properly. Nothing looked good, and I was already self-conscious from being in the chair. I felt embarrassed, like people were gonna stare at me. And then on top of that, I didn't feel comfortable in the clothes I was in.
So I can totally relate to that. I know when I first got hurt, I was so embarrassed by how I look. I had all the mirrors taken out of my house. Yeah. I thought I was absolutely disgusting. I had no confidence whatsoever. So I didn't start improving my life until way after. I got a long, crazy story that involves depression and suicide and addiction and like just this whole mess of stuff. But once I started eating right and once I started exercising, I was like, oh, maybe I do go get a haircut. Maybe I do go get my beard trimmed. Maybe I do find properly fit sweatpants instead of just big baggy Fruit of the Looms that I got from Walmart. It definitely improved my confidence and it definitely made me feel better as a person, and I started sitting up straight and I started making eye contact with people instead of staring at the ground. So, it may seem silly, but sometimes the way to make your insides feel a little bit better is to make your outside look a little bit better. People have a better first impression of you. How people looked at me was much different than how they looked at me when I was wearing clean clothes and had a fresh beard and like had my hair styled. You have the unique opportunity to create a new compelling future, a life that's completely designed by you, and that can include fashion choices. No one's gonna question it. You've got a new life anyway.
So this is the perfect time to reinvent yourself. I had to relearn how to do everything, how to wear pants, how to pick out the right shoes, what type of shirts fit properly. Since I live in Los Angeles, everything's image-based here. So even before my accident, I was conscious about fashion, and I did like to dress up. So what we're gonna teach you, and to have your everyday life on autopilot. So we wanna be able to do that with fashion as well. I wear in what I call my uniform. And this is just a comfortable black V-neck, not super low. It fits my shoulders and my arms properly, semi-dark black jeans, and my shell toes. It's about being comfortable, but being confident as well. Having a spinal cord injury, you have no control of your bladder or bowel. If you're at that stage where you don't know how to control it yet and you are having frequent pee problems or leaks, yeah, dark jeans or a dark pant is the way to go because it doesn't show as much. I am a para because I know quads have their own set of problems and issues. Because you can't put on a shoe or put on a pant doesn't mean that you can't have the idea of what you want to look like and what you want to put on. Fashion is a choice that you can make, and it all comes from here. It starts here. So today, my friend, let's boost up your confidence level by finding a new outfit, something that makes you feel good. So I think let's jump into the closet and find some inspiration. What do you think?
Let's do it.
All right, man, so welcome to my closet. I'm gonna take you through some of my favorite pieces, some stuff that I have in here. Luckily, I was able to find an apartment with a rolling closet. I love to wear white t-shirts, black t-shirts, V-necks that are not super deep V's showing off your bottom chesticle area there. Yeah, so the less options you have, the less you have to worry about what you're gonna wear for the day. And as you can see, I have a lot of like muted colors, darker tones. That's just kind of a personal preference. I do like bright colors, but only if something to complement an outfit. Like I love pink. I'll wear something with pink in the tie, or what I love is if I'm wearing a suit, pink pocket square. That pop of color is something that you really want in your outfits. My wheelchair is black, silver with the white spokes, and that's kind of all I wear unless I go to like a special event or something. You know, we already kind of bring attention to ourselves being in the chair. And if you're not confident from the get-go, then don't put that on yourself mentally. It'll bring you down. So let's start with some basics. There's so many things that we could talk about, but the thing that I want to focus on today is your pants. For me, the pants were my enemy. Putting them on, taking them off. So one of the first pieces that I want to bring out, joggers are your best friend. The reason I say that, most jeans have buttons, they have pockets, they have anything that might break down your skin. You don't want to worry about that. And if you don't know what joggers are, they kind of look like sweatpants. This will be like a sweatpant jogger. For my ankles, it kind of fits right around my ankle and it hugs the ankle nicely, so the pant leg isn't swallowing your legs. So this is a good option if you just want to transition into something right away. The next jogger that we have, this is an H&M jogger. I love H&M because it's affordable. After my accident, I lost my job and didn't have an income coming in, so when I was on disability, paying for clothes wasn't up there. Here's the back. They have pockets, but there's nothing rough or hard in there that's gonna break down your skin. There's no buttons. Jeans, throughout the day, transferring in and out of your car from here to there, they start sliding off your butt. Next thing you know, back of your jeans are like under your leg, and I hated that. With joggers, you can tie them up, make sure they don't move. They'll get you through a whole day without slipping off your butt.
So one thing I really want to drive home for you guys is just like a zero tolerance policy when it comes to any type of big buttons, zippers, or seams on the back of your pants. You will get a pressure sore, and as you guys know, skin integrity is very important for overall health. If you get a skin sore and you don't notice it, or it doesn't go attended to, you can get an infection in that skin sore and even become septic and die. I got something like some joggers that were like a sweatpant style and they had like one little zipper, and I was like, dang it, that's it, I can't have it now. Oh, well, I'm just going on a date, I'll wear these nice jeans, there's a few buttons. A few hours can give you a skin sore. Well, it's no big deal, I'll just do more weight transfers. I mean, these cushions are scientifically designed to prevent skin sores, and if you don't do any weight transfers out of them, you can still get a skin sore. So just imagine what like a hard piece of metal or a zipper or a seam of a pocket that's too thick just dents right in there and can cause a big problem.
So Rich, these are some of the joggers that I own, and I want to show you like the versatility in this type of pant that you can wear. They have the elastic band at the bottom here, and they look good for us because one of the big things that we deal with is atrophy in our legs. I used to play soccer, I had some nice legs. Slowly but surely you see those just literally atrophy away and it kills you. In fashion, when you have skinny legs and you have big jeans, it just doesn't look good. You want to accentuate your shoes, and having baggy pants won't let you do that. And now this color, if you do wet yourself, this will come through on that. So
this is not pee your pants friendly.
Yeah.
So what defines a jogger?
Now the next one up, these are my favorite jogger because, but the bottom has a zipper.
It's easier to put your limp foot through there.
They have so much adjustability to them. And also for guys who wear leg bags, they're baggy enough to where when the bag, I've worn these, when the bag expands when you're peeing, if you wear it behind your calf, then you won't see it, and then you really can't tell.
I, at one point in my life, wore a leg bag, but I was very paranoid about it. No one notices it but you. No able-bodied person is thinking, let me go see if that guy's leg is a little bit bigger down on one side. Right. No one even knows to look if you even have that.
Exactly.
It's very strange how a lot of times we tell ourselves these stories. I used to be afraid to throw away my catheters in trash that wasn't mine. But now I've reached a point of like, dude, I do not care anymore. If I'm in here too long, then people are gonna have questions, and I don't want to answer questions, and do they think I'm pooping, and like I don't want to, like there's this whole story we tell ourselves, and again, no one's paying attention.
There's another one of my favorites because this is more of a dressy jogger.
And a bonus about being in a chair is no one's gonna see your stretchy waistband or your ties because your shirt is gonna be covering it.
Absolutely.
You don't have to worry about rocking a belt. You don't have to worry about, oh no, people think I'm wearing stretchy pants.
Right.
Like, ew. No one's gonna notice.
Right. When you're wearing jeans and stuff, buttons, that can cause some discomfort right there. Your skin can get caught in a zipper, or if you're not paying attention. And like you said, you're not gonna see that. But what you are gonna see is the bottom of these. You can wear this as a dress pant. I actually put on a black sports coat and it went perfectly. Nobody knew that it wasn't part of the outfit, it wasn't part of the suit. These you could roll up.
Show your ankles off a little bit.
You show off the cankles or ankles.
In my case, I got metal ankles, so I'll call them mankles.
Oh, damn. They're not expensive. I think this was $30, and all the other joggers at H&M are probably 25 and under, and then when they have sales, you can probably find them for like 10 bucks. And another thing, the great thing about having dark jeans or dark pants is that you can rewear those at least 3 times a week if they're clean, and nobody will know any difference. Like everybody does it. Sometimes we don't want to go to the store. Certain wheelchair users can't try on the pants there. We have to come back home anyway, so.
Let me do a floor transfer. Let me take off my pants.
Right.
Let me put on my pants. Let me transfer back into the chair.
Exactly.
Look at myself. Do that all over again. Not happening.
I was in Italy actually, and they had a disabled person dressing room. It was like a bed, padded bed.
Hey, USA, did you hear that?
We can go all day. Europe's got some stuff, honestly. But we like ordering stuff online. Rich was saying how he loves to wear jeans. So let's show the people out there what's special about these. We're all seeing this for the first time, so
this is like a legit unboxing that's happening right now. So the initial thing I look at is that they're the jogger style. They've got the stretchy waist, they've got the ties, but this is denim. Let's turn these around.
Bam!
No buttons, no seams, flat butt. Look at how tapered that is.
That's beautiful.
That's a beautiful taper, but that would be hard to fit your left foot through. Zipper. I might steal these from you. Hope you know that. I'm gonna take them.
Dude,
these are mine now.
They're cool,
you
right?
Need to order another pair.
I'm serious. If they fit you, you can take them. But it's cool because the material it's a denim.
This is cool. No one at PacSun thought, oh, I'm gonna make these for paraplegic guys that have a hard time, putting on and off pants and the zippers at the bottom. It's for their leg bag. No one was thinking that, but it works for that.
Yes. Good job, PacSun. It was just easier to get them shipped here. I can jump in my bed real quick, put them on, and if they don't work, then I figure out how to ship them back.
So I went ahead and tried on the PacSun jeans, and there's a few things I like and a few things I dislike. So one of the big insecurities that I have is that I've got one big leg and one little leg. So I used to always get like pants that were extra baggy, but because this has a lot of like designs and like wear and tear on it, it kind of distracts from that. I'm not a big fan of the length because it kind of gets a little bunchy in this area, because when I do stand, it kind of like straightens all out. But the biggest discrepancy that I find is that there's this like extra flap of material here. So when I'm sitting down, like I almost don't want to have to like hide it with the shirt, because then that gives me a weird shape. I can't really I would like it if it was flat like this. There's not really a way to make it flat, because it's like all of a sudden like boom, there it is. That's maybe that just has to do with the wrong size, but I really did enjoy the zipper because putting it in was kind of difficult, so I just unzipped it before I put my ankles through. That was pretty cool. I enjoyed that. I like this look. I don't like this fit. So I think if I could find something that has this look, I would enjoy that. I think if I also had a better t-shirt, it would just bring the look all together. So some of you guys may be watching this like in your hospital beds right now and thinking, Richard, I don't care about fashion. I can't even put on clothes by myself. But I'm gonna show you how to put on a pair of pants while in the chair. So a lot of you guys know I can stand and walk, but I used to not be able to do that at all. So I'm gonna show you the technique that I used to do before I could even stand up and fix it. So I would just scoot forward to the edge, bring my feet down to both sides. I would get my leg and grab it. I would hang on to the push rim and grab it and bring it up like this. I would put one all the way through, even though the pant isn't all the way up. And then I'll do that on the opposite side. I'll drop this pant leg down. I'll bring up the other foot. And I will put it in. This is just my way of doing it. What I'm about to show you next is definitely more of an advanced move. All right, so what I do is I put my thumbs and on both sides, and then I grab this part of my wheelchair and this part of my wheelchair and use it to kind of hold on, and then I just dip down into my pants, and then I push myself back up, and ta-da, my pants are on. I'll lean over here, pull it up the rest of the way. I'll lean over here, pull it up the rest of the way, put my feet back on the footrests, push back, and I got my pants on. So I actually like these pants and these fit. They're dark, so if I ever have any leaks, I don't have to worry about that. They're baggy enough on the little leg side. It doesn't make this seem all stretched and tight. And this one does not have that flap. Let me pop on some shoes real quick and I'll check it myself in the mirror. I actually loosen it up and open it up the tongue. And what I do is I put my thumb back here, and when I put it on, my toes can crinkle up. You gotta wiggle it back and forth like this to get it in. Always check to make sure your toes are flat, Because if your toes are crunched up like this, you can get autonomic dysreflexia, you can get a skin sore, you can kill the skin and the bone and have to have some of your toes cut off, which is a horrible thing that has actually happened. Whenever it stops, see how I'm stuck? I'm pulling. It's because I got a big toe that's kinked up. So I'll wiggle it back and forth. Now a big toe flat, and slide it the rest of the way in.
Welcome to my bed. I'm gonna show you how I put on my pants. I'm not as advanced as Rich over there. I can do them sitting down in the chair, but the video will be like 30 minutes long. But first I take them down. I like to do both legs. You kind of feed your legs through. So I take the crotch here and I start pulling them up. Now here's where it gets tricky, because if you have rips in your knees, your feet are gonna come out there, so watch out for that. So I'll work that through there, bring them up. And at this point, I usually do one leg at a time. The next move I actually do, I'm gonna roll over. I do a roll and I pull the pants up all at once. I make sure that all the material at the top is ready to go. So I'll bend the knees up and bring the pants down a little bit. Now you can do this one of two ways. You can do the roll and the pull, or you can do, you can just inch them up side by side like this. And bring them up. That takes a little bit longer. What I found is you just do your little roll, your little burrito roll, bring them up. Bam, good to go. So the jeans that I have on, these are from H&M. These were my favorite pieces before. I didn't like skinny jeans, I liked slim fit, but when my legs started to atrophy, this was just super baggy. It didn't fit around my ankle properly, and I didn't like the way they looked. I almost threw them away until I told my mom, hey mom, this is happening. She's like, oh, I can fix those in a few minutes. I'm like, really? You can? I mean, I don't even know how to explain this, but she fixed them, she tapered them, she brought them in to where now they're still not super skinny, as you can see, but I can fold them under, and I like to show a little bit of ankle. Don't throw away your jeans, guys. Jeans are expensive. You bring them to a tailor, it'll cost you a few bucks to taper, to hem the jeans.
I made that mistake. I threw away all my clothes. I ended up having an entire wardrobe full of fleece pants from Walmart or whatever, it was like gross.
Right. So yeah, I just did that to all my jeans, and I got them tailored by my mom. If you're going to a tailor, don't be afraid. Listen, when I first went to a tailor to do a suit, I didn't know the terminology. I'm still learning, but it's not common knowledge. So don't be afraid to find a tailor and listen and say, listen, can you help me? I don't know, what to say, but I know what I'm looking for. And they'll be happy to work with you. And another thing that you could do is bring in pictures that you like. So we put Richard in some of my clothes, and I saw him trying to sneak off with them while using them legs that he was doing. I see what you were doing. But let's get you some of your own clothes. Let's just hit the mall and see what we can find, right?
Sounds good, man.
All right.
myself some new pants and a new shirt. The buttons and the shirt match the shoes. It's like a nice mix. Definitely not a huge, massive change from what I was already wearing, but there's enough little subtle differences. You know, I got some rough edges here. It's a little V-neck with a couple of buttons. It fits a lot better. So, you know, it's something that I don't think I would have ever picked out before, but I'm really happy with it. You know, I feel really good. And we went to a store that wasn't necessarily a budget store, but we got both of these for 60 bucks. So that's not a bad deal for a shirt and pants, like, at all.
One of the themes that we wanted to keep going is that you don't have to go all out when you first make that decision to find some new clothes. This isn't putting Richard out of his comfort zone. You know, he still feels comfortable, which makes him confident. We found a hybrid jogger which has the elastic bottom at the ankle plus the zipper. Now this one doesn't have the elastic band if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, this one, it's not the elastic band. It's got a button and a zipper, but it's still a little stretchy because, you know, when you're sitting in your chair and you bend, you know, especially if you've got, you know, a bucket in your wheelchair, your knees are going to be higher than your hips, so you kind of fold over a little bit already. So it's nice to have a little bit of stretch. And the way that these pants are designed, the little leg kind of has its own little like dome shell over top of it of pants.
Right.
Feels really good. I'm really, really happy about how this turned out. Danny, where can they find you online?
You can find me on Instagram at DGStyle. If you have any style questions, just DM me. I will be coming out with some more style type videos. I think there's so much more that we can touch on, especially for fashion in a wheelchair. I mean, this was just the bare basics of getting started, and I'm happy that we could find you an outfit, man.
If you like this video, please be sure to give it a thumbs up, and if you're new here, please subscribe. A lot of you guys aren't. If you want to know more about me and Andrew, the guy behind the camera, we have an uncensored podcast available down below on Patreon. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one.